Seems to me like a perfect night to go sleep in the woods. Well, I got the urge to go out and sleep in the woods in my hammock tonight. So I'm going to get everything ready. I have to stuff my sleeping bag and the underquilt for my hammock into their compression sacks. I don't ever store them long term in the compression sacks because they'll lose their loftiness. Yeah, they need to be stored in their free state, which is, I think, the technical term for a high-end sleeping bag's happy place. And I'm going to need all the loftiness I can get tonight because it's supposed to go down to about 24 degrees Fahrenheit. This sleeping bag, as I'm sure most high-end bags do, it came with a large storage bag where it can be barely crunched down at all, and then it comes with a compression sack for when you're actually out on a backpacking trip. Yeah, same thing goes for the Hammock Under Quilt. The loadout in the backpack includes the sleeping bag and the underquilt. And self-inflating air mattress. This is a Sea to Summit. It's a 3-inch thick pad. This blue backpack, this is actually my book bag from when I was in college. And I use that as a sub pack. That has my hammock, the rainfly, and then all the tree straps and guy lines for the hammock. When I use the hammock for warm weather, I don't need all this bulky stuff. I just can grab that blue one and go. So that's why I keep it in it's a backpack within a backpack. On the outside of the pack, it's a Molle style water pouch bag, and it's got a clean canteen full of water in case I want to make some coffee. And then in the side pocket, it's just got a basic survival kit. This gas mask pouch is my coffee kit. It has coffee grounds in it, and it's got a little French press coffee mug. The dry bag, it gets my toiletry pouch and my model G43 Marauding wildlife protection kit in a 9mm, if you know what I mean. And there's a little food bag, just some snacks, granola bars, foil pack of Spam. This black skinny Molle bag, I've got a LifeStraw just in case. I just hang this dry bag on the outside of the backpack. This first of 2 orange zipper pouches has a handsaw, a Scottish eye drill in case I get ambitious out in camp and want to make a stool or anything, and it's got my camp knife. The second orange zipper pouch has a collapsible camp stove and my fire starting kit. It's got at least a half a dozen ways in there for me to start and tinder a fire. I always take spare eyeglasses with me. Then my Hults Bruk Aneby axe goes on the side there. And some of the things on this list really have nothing to do specifically with winter hammock camping, but they're part of my standard gear that I take no matter what the conditions are. This other stuff here will just go in my pockets or on my person. That'll do it for this trip. Well, the woods are full of 6 to 8 inches of fresh trackless snow out here. It's in the 20s. It's a high 20s, but 20s nonetheless. I like camping out in the woods. One of the biggest problems with it is mosquitoes. I'll tell you what, there's nothing like 6 to 8 inches of fresh powdery snow to keep the mosquitoes down. I bet I won't see a one tonight.
hemlock trees that give a little bit of cover from the heavy snow if it keeps going all night. At this rate, we could have a foot on the ground by morning. Just need a couple of trees the right distance apart for my hammock. Pretty cold out here. There's a good, this is a nice solid sized tree. That's a little too close there. Oh, hey, that one right there and that one here. That's a good distance. Yeah. String it from there to there. No dead branches up above to come down in the night and end my pleasant sleep. Baseball cap's not keeping my ears warm. Took some snow down the back. I pack these in the order, well actually I pack from the bottom up in the reverse order when I'm going to need them. And I have to get the hand tree straps. Okay, so the long end without extra loops goes around the tree, and then the end with all the loops goes through that end loop, and that way I can pick whichever length I want here. Get out one end of it, and I carabiner it in so that I'm inside of the edge of the tarp. Just clip it somewhere, and I can readjust this after it gets to the other end if I don't like where it sits. This pouch is halfway along it. So I gotta find the other end. Right there. Put that into my belt while I'm hooking up the other strap so I don't drop it on the snow. paracord. Alright, this pouch is in the ridge inside. Next thing I do is I put on my Sea to Summit 3-inch self-inflating pad, and if you've heard the phrase, one layer on the bottom is worth two on the top, that very much comes to play in hammock camping in the winter, because you're up off the ground, but you get cold from the bottom up in a big hurry. This helps that. These things are actually pretty hard to get out of their bag. Hard to get into the bag too, but it's actually harder to get them out. I can take this off now because I'm underneath the tarp. The strategy for doing this before the underquilt is that it gives it extra time to self-inflate. Turn that valve over. That also gives my hammock some shape so I can tell what's going on with it a little easier. This is a OneTigris underquilt, and this makes a huge difference on camping in the winter in a hammock. I gotta make sure I don't drag this on the ground while I'm hooking it up. Alright, the reason that this underquilt makes a big difference is when I'm laying in the hammock, my weight is against my sleeping bag. A sleeping bag insulates you by the airspace of the insulation. So on top of you, it's nice and fluffy and gives you plenty of insulation. Problem is, the part you're laying on is compressed onto your body weight, and it crunches right down and pushes all the airspace away, and you get cold. The underquilt is loose, so even though my weight is fully on the hammock, my feet are up off the ground, but the underquilt is loose underneath me. It kind of wraps up underneath. That gives you a lot of lofty insulation and airspace underneath you that is not subject to compression from your body weight. Now you see, I did some customization on this. I sewed in some loops and a matching loop on the other side with a little tiny carabiner, and I put those over the ridgepole and clip them together. One on this end and another one on this end. That keeps the end of this from sliding down away, and when I'm bouncing around, it just keeps the taco up where it needs to be. I need to get my coat and backpack underneath the tarp. Is it still snowing? You know what? It looks like it has lightened up on the snowing a little bit. It's gonna be getting dark pretty soon here. Oh, that's inflating now. Good. I better put this on it so that I don't empty it back out when I sit on it. It's getting cold. I'm gonna keep this in here by me tonight or it's gonna freeze. That's what that pouch is for. Oh, I'm glad I have this on top of me, but my coat just got trashed. I need a strap, a gear strap underneath here. That's underneath the tarp. There, that's off the ground. That's underneath. Okay. Last but certainly not least is my sleeping bag. Man, that's really cold. It gets the back of my head. Okay, I'm going to cinch up the top of this so that it doesn't collect snow during the night. I'll put my buckles back down over it. I'm running out of daylight. Okay, I got my pad, got my sleeping bag. Oh, my pillow. And that is in here. I can't pillow. Oh, there is something else in here I need to deploy. All right, Mr. G's ready to dance. Okay, this is my boot tether. And I'll show you how all this works in a minute. Okay, at some point tonight, I'm going to have to take off my boots. And for a short period of time, I have to put my feet down on the snow. So what I have here is a little piece of house wrap. Like Tyvek. It's not Tyvek brand, I don't think. I don't know what it is. It doesn't have the brand on it. But I put this down on the ground, white side down, by the way. And I've got a grommet in here and a rope. And that goes on my carabiner with the boot strap. Okay, I've got my tie back down, and I've got my strap for my boots right here with a carabiner. Use one of my gloves to clean off the snow off my boot. Now, even the choice of boots is strategic when you're winter camping in a hammock. I use these that are extremely easy. They're the kind of a Maine style boot, zip up on the side, and it's important that they have this loop on the back because that's where I clip my carabiner. It's getting too dark to see. Oh, yeah, knew I'd seen that somewhere. Yeah. All right, get my other boot off. Okay, both of the boots are carabinered in now. Can you see that? Yeah. And strategically along this cord somewhere, right there, there's another loop and a carabiner into there. And that is just the right distance so that the boots can hang down and not quite be on the ground. They're not going to tip over. They're not going to get full of snow. And they're going to be easy for me to find them and pull them up to me in the morning. And I don't think I want my compass strapped in front of me while I'm in there. Now my feet are getting cold even though they're on this tie back. So it's time to get in the rest of the way here. Somebody see my pillow? Last thing I gotta do now is get a hold of my tie back, and it's got a loop on this end as well. There, so that's clipped in. The tie back's off the ground, the boots are off the ground, I'm off the ground. There it is. Oh, my pillow. All right, I'm all zipped up, tucked in, ready for bed. And I don't have enough of a cell signal out here to check the current weather or anything, but the forecast said that it was going to be getting down to 26 degrees Fahrenheit tonight, so it's going to be plenty chilly. Sounds like critters running around out there. Anyway, oh, another strategic piece of this outfit is this hoodie. What I'm wearing is a quick dry t-shirt underneath this hoodie, and this is also non-cotton. I don't have anything on at all tonight that's cotton. Got this synthetic hoodie and this fleece, and then I have some quick dry pants that are fleece lined and some wool socks. This hoodie is important because it makes sure my ears stay warm. I'll probably have the mummy bag up over my head as well. But this just helps keep my ears warm, and there should be enough body heat coming up past my face through the opening of the mummy bag to keep my nose warm enough. I think one of the reasons that I really like camping in the winter is that it really seriously puts you outside of your comfort zone. I mean, how many people have never slept someplace where you can see your breath? I think the coldest I ever spent the night outdoors was 16 Fahrenheit. That time I just had a sleeping bag and one of those blue tarps. I just folded the tarp in half, stuck the sleeping bag in the fold, and laid right on the ground. That was a cold night. In fact, that was probably the night I gained full appreciation of the idea that one layer below you is worth two above you. Because I had no pad. All I had under me was one layer of blue tarp and my sleeping bag, subject to the body crushing of the insulation that we talked about earlier. Another thing I did to customize my hammock is this has an outside ridge line to support this mosquito netting, and I installed a second ridge line. I don't know if you can see it here. I've got a second ridge line inside the netting, and that's so that I can do things like hang my headlamp over it, and I have this handy little pouch, accessory pouch, that does things such as gives me a place to put my glasses. I think I'm ready to call it a night and get to sleep. So you guys sleep well and stay warm wherever you're at tonight, and I'll see you in the morning. Good night. Well, I guess it's time to get out of this warm sleeping bag and just get out there and right camp. Boy, that's pretty surprising how much heat is held in by that screen. Oh, it's cold out there. Oh, those are cold boots. Oh, I'm glad I had that tarp on over the top of this thing. Holy smokes. Well, there's the setup. Didn't get a very good look at it last night. You can see on the tree there I use a short length of rope with one of those Night Eyes figure 9 carabiners to give me a good sturdy place to hang my heavy backpack. I need this coat on.
This coat will warm up, I'm sure. A lot of this gear you can get on Amazon. I'll put links below in the video description just for your convenience. I am an Amazon associate, so I'll earn a small commission if you use these links, but there's no extra cost to you. It's a good way to support the channel. In addition to liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing, that's the best way for you to tell the algorithm that this was actually worth watching. And if you've stuck it out this far, it must not have been so bad. So yeah, I'd greatly appreciate it if you would click the buttons accordingly to help push the video out to others who might also find it enjoyable. Ooh, this is not graceful. More sweet, make sure I'm not leaving anything. I'm hanging in near the trees. Well, that was a good night in the woods.